everybody. Interesting thing that I found this morning on Twitter. Dan Rather is rather confused as to what's going on at CNN. There's a tone shift, he stated. He wonders if the audience notices. Now, for those of you who don't know who Dan Rather is, he has been basically in journalism with CBS News ever since I was a little kid. Now, back during the Bush Jr. years, he got himself in some type of truthful troubles because he posted documents on his show, the CBS Nightly News, showing that Bush had not ever actually been in the military. As a pilot, especially. And these documents were fake. And it was proven they were fake. Dan Rather said, look, I didn't know. I got these from somebody else. And people were looking at him like, look, if these documents were written up a number of years ago, they would look like they were written up a number of years ago. This looks like it was done on a brand new typewriter or something. So, So, Dan Rather has been confused as to what the tone shift is. Especially, I'm guessing, he was talking about the criticism of the Biden speech, the most recent one. Now, look, even the guys on MSNBC, the pundits, now there's a difference between the talking head journalists that you see during the nightly news and the pundits. Even the pundits, who are far left Biden fans, said, I agree with so much of what Biden said, but the way he said it just feels divisive. Which is true. Everybody's saying the same thing. Except from Fox News, they're saying he's attacking conservatives. Okay, fine. Fine, even I've watched this speech and I'm like, damn, you went from our democracy will never die to it's all conservative and Trump's fault. Didn't sound too senile during the speech. A little Hitlerian, but not too senile. So, as I'm sitting here reading this article, I'm saying to myself, did you not know what was going on at CNN? That it's not just a tone shift, that the new boss man is sitting there saying, you know what, we're done. Skelter's been fired. And I mean Stelter. I need to try to say his name right, but I always call him Skelter. But Brian Stelter has been fired. And John Harwood, another guy over either at CNN at CNN, he's also been fired. And Dan Rather's just confused. Why? Maybe he really has been living under a rock. Who knows? But the shift is going to happen. Now, you've got the lefty saying, oh God, they're going pro-MAGA. They're going pro-Trump. No, they're not. Look at what's going on at CNN. You have 5, maybe 6 people making anywhere between $1 to $3 million a year. Brian Stelter was making $2 or $3 million a year. Joy Reid is making at least $5 million. And, a few others are probably making some good money there. But their shows were shit. You get lower ratings than the cartoon Primal on Adult Swim. Your ratings are lower than a cartoon by Genndy Tartakovsky about a guy riding on a big dinosaur. A Neanderthal who rides on the back of a dinosaur. Yeah, your show's getting beat out by that. Yeah, you're going to get fired. The new guy's going to come in and he's going to talk to the CFO. First thing going to ask, okay, how many people's ass have you been covering over the last few years? What do you mean, sir? Oh, I wouldn't cover anyone's ass. No, just be upfront and be honest with me. How many people's ass have you been covering over the last few years? And you know their show ain't shit, but we're paying him $2 or $3 million. Well, sir, I've been actually told your predecessor this, but he didn't care. So yeah, Stelter. And a few others. Okay. So the tonal shift, I don't see CNN becoming pro-Trump anytime soon, or becoming exactly like Fox News, which is conservative. HB would say conservative Inc. But I don't see them becoming that. Maybe they really will go to the center. Or better yet, they will go to the area known as journalistic integrity. Now, everyone's going to have your biases, but wouldn't it be very interesting if CNN got some Dan Rather baritone-voiced people to sit down and talk about politics? To give you the news? Because that's what Dan Rather did. Dan Rather would just sit there and he would tell you the news. In this deep baritone, very trusting voice. And everyone believed what he had to say. He showed no personal bias up until that one point during the nightly news. Now imagine if CNN did that. Now, hell, Dan Rather might be getting a spot very soon. But we just need to accept this. Now, another interesting thing. I need to talk about this because I found this to be rather disturbing. And I don't know. It scared me almost in a way. It really did. You had the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, basically the financier, the banker guy, the accountant who works over at Bed Bath & Beyond. He climbed up 18 stories in New York City. He went up 18 floors at a building that houses the Bed Bath & Beyond and other subsidiaries of that company. And just fucking jumped out of an 18-story window. I mean, straight out of like one of those goofy movies back in the 80s and the 90s where the big rich guy would just walk out the window and just jump to his death and no one cared. You're like, what? Why did he just jump out of the window? So my first question is, who the fuck let this guy up there? I mean, I'm seeing this on the Fox News app and my first thought is, what? Why? Why did you jump off the roof? Why? I mean, how do you do that? It's not like, it's not like the guy went out and did anything evil or wrong, we assume. We assume that. But, I mean, you're just sitting there going, why? I mean, why would the chief financial officer jump? Now, they're saying, well, it might have had something to do with the recent stock drop. And they're talking about laying off 26,000 workers across the board, across all 50 states. Well, the economy's bad right now. How many times have you been in a Bed Bath & Beyond and there's a line up to the door for people at the register? I never have. Bed Bath & Beyond's kind of a niche thing. But that's all right. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But this action of, oh my God, why did he jump? Did he jump for that? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you jump? Just because the stocks dropped a little bit. We're in the middle of a recession going into maybe a depression. So maybe he was clinically depressed. I hope so. I mean, I don't hope for anybody, rich or poor, to commit suicide. But still, damn, that's just like niggas just jumping out of windows for no damn reason and shit. Just jump out the window today. Creepy, man. Creepy. In other news, Trump, they're still talking about Trump's going to go to jail this time. We've got him. Oh, please. After a while, you get to a point where you literally sit down and you hear this over and over again and you say, dude, They've been trying the same damn thing for 5+ fucking years. They're not going to get him now. They didn't get him in 2016. They didn't get him in 2020. They didn't get him in 2021. They're not going to get him now. Okay? Obstruction of justice charges. And it isn't even about him. It's about depressing the turnout enough during the 22 midterms in order to get people to vote for liberal candidates who have little to no shot, so they can keep the House and the Senate. Look, guys, maybe your strategy should be to have candidates who actually have something to say, instead of we people here on the outside who are supposed to be politically unlined are now choosing a side. See, what's going to happen is this. Excuse me, a moment. The FBI is going to be blamed for a lot of this. Then they're going to take heat. And the politicians will be like, well, it's not us. It's the FBI. We don't know what's going on over there. We need to clear the calendar of the Justice Department and see what the hell's going on over there. And so, yeah, you know, the lower dogs in the political echelon are going to get their asses handed to them. They're going to get fired. They're going to get lambasted. Their reputation is going to be sullied beyond existence. All for the great Democrat cause. And I assure you, after these guys get their asses blown out of the fucking water, they'll be lucky to get a pension out of it and just be left alone. Now, if it's like the Titanic, they're just going to reshuffle the deck while the ship's still sinking. But it's just, it's sad. Oh yes, I almost forgot. California is once again in dire straits. God must hate California. Must be all the faggots and trannies and groomers. I mean, seriously. There's an attack of some type of small, very, very small parasitic flea that they call baby piranhas. And these things attack people's feet out in the water and ankles, and it's like getting a pinprick. But they draw blood with each bite, and they can just tear you up. Now, it's not killing you, tearing you up, but it's like you're going to have welts and bite marks all over your skin. And rubbing your feet with sand. It takes a lot to get them off because they're very small to see. And nobody said anything. It's been happening for a few days, but, you know, California was like, we're not going to warn anyone of this. We don't care. You know, suffer. Suffer and die. California hates itself. That's why I'm never moving there. It's just amazing, though, in some ways. Oh, for those of you wondering about the new look, this is what I look like with a haircut and clean shaven. I had a wedding to go to yesterday. Not my own. A cousin. My cousin, she finally got married to her baby daddy. After about 8+ years of being with the man. Whatever. You know, I'm happy for her. I got to take all these pictures. I got to upload those pictures when I get a chance. But that's why I look so different. I actually got some sleep, too. I haven't really gotten good sleep in months. But, you know, maybe I'm becoming an insomniac or something. But, other than that, everything's fine. I just wanted to go over these few quick stories and sort of get myself back into the groove. Just talking about different things that I found interesting. Gonna try to make another video right after this one. Please like, rate, subscribe. It'll be interesting. Oh, and don't forget to share the video too.